Hi guys. I had somebody ask how I keep my things organized, and I'm going to show you the way that I do it. I'm a portrait photographer, babies, weddings, seniors, family, stuff like that. So for me, I can go by a specific name and date, but for a landscape or nature photographer, it might be a little bit different, but this will kind of show you how I try to keep my things organized so that it's easier for me to find. Okay, so I'm going to go into Lightroom, and as you can see, under your folders category, that is where you're going to find all of your folders, basically. And as you're importing into Lightroom, they automatically pop up with the date. So when you go to bring stuff in, the date that you had taken the photos is already going to be tagged. I myself use that particular date, and I simply just add the type of shoot or the name of the client behind that date. The reason I do that is because it keeps me organized as far as what I need to edit next. So I can go down the line and see who was first in my week or month or whatever, and make sure I get them taken care of before I move on to the next client. That way, first come, first served basis. So as you can see, I have labeled mine the date that I took it and then the person. And sometimes if I'm doing an event, I'll label it bridal show, and so on and so forth. When I do various things, I make sure that I try to keep them organized. And the reason I do that is because I need to be able to be quick about getting the photos back to them, and I need to be quick to being able to find them should I need them in the future. As you can see, I don't have this one labeled, so I will click on this and I see that it's just random dress shoots. So I can then control click on this and I can click rename, and then I arrow over and I type in what it was. Perfect. Now I know what that is, and I can continue to do that if I have folders that I need to rename. Okay, that'll be good for now. So, in order to find these on your actual hard drive, because you can't just simply drag and drop these onto an external, we need to find our folder on our hard drive. So I'm going to close up Lightroom for now. If you go under admin and you just simply click on that, you're going to see these folders, and maybe you might have more. I want to open up pictures, and in here is where I'm going to find all of my files that are in Lightroom. These are all my raw files. Okay, as you can see over here under my photo archives, which is also my external, which is where I'm going to be backing them up, you can see I have 2012 and then 2012 modified. The modified photos are the ones that I've actually edited. So if I don't want to have to worry about going back in and editing more photos or again or what have you, I keep two folders. So they are the same photos. One's my original and then one is my edited. So I'm going to make a new folder in my folders archive, and I'm going to label it 2014. Okay, and then I will go ahead and make a new folder since I'm already over here, and I'll make that 2014 modified. Okay, great. So now I'm going to go down to where I am working on stuff still, and I'm going to make sure that my folders are lined up by date modified, so that way I know what I'm still working on. So these are back in April. So I'm probably just going to go ahead and start, and I will leave until, we're going to go with until August. So I'm going to take from here on down And I'm just going to hold shift and it'll select all those folders for me. And I'm just going to simply come over here and drag and drop them into 2014. Now, because these are raw files, they obviously have a lot more memory attached to them, so this could take a while. I recommend that you try to do this a little bit more often than maybe once or twice a year. Some people do it right away. I just like to have my files on my computer if I need them. It's always good to have a backup anyway if you are, especially working with weddings and newborns, because those are things you can't really do over again. So keep those backed up no matter what, but as far as family stuff like that, you know, those are a little bit more safe, because worst case scenario, God forbid, something happens to your computer and you don't have a family shoot backed up, all that's going to do is take away a little bit more of your time, and maybe you can add a little bit more package incentive to your client just to say you're sorry. So that's how I would work around something like that. So then, if you want to back up your modified, you're just going to go to wherever it is that you store your photos that you have modified when you export out of Lightroom. And mine are going to be under Photos, plain and simple. And I'm going to kind of close up some of these windows so we can see where we're at. Okay. So again, I'm going to go and I'm going to sort these by date modified as opposed to the name. And I'm going to go back to my wedding and go all the way down. Hold down my shift key again and drag and drop under 2014 modified. There we go. Now, once these are all copied over, and I'm not going to make you wait on that, but once these are all copied over, I then make sure that they're on my hard drive before I delete anything off my computer. I will do that to make sure that my computer stays up and running and as fast as it possibly can. With all these raw images, it tends to take up quite a bit of space on your hard drive. Okay, so once we are back in Lightroom, when you delete your parent folder, if you will, it will make these folders over here turn gray. You'll still see thumbnails and you'll still be able to see what pictures were in there, but that clutters up your Lightroom too. It makes Lightroom run slow the more files you have in here. And even though those photos are no longer on your computer, there's still a memory being used in your Lightroom. So you will want to go through, and if you hit Control and so basically you're going to right click on your mouse, you can, okay, I guess it's not in here. So I'm not going to do that right now because obviously I'm still working on getting things moved, but it's probably if you just click on the folder and hit delete is my guess, appear in Lightroom, because it's a memory process that it has to go through. So be patient with that, and it'll all work out. So that is pretty much how I continue to keep my things organized, and if you have any other questions, please feel free to message me at info@gearyphotography.com. Have a great day.